Welcome to the Moneymakers podcast, brought to you by Sophia. Sophia is an exciting education platform for women with a goal to increase diversity and inclusion in early stage investing. This podcast is a finance, innovation, and investing show for amazing women everywhere of all ages. Each fortnight, we will feature an inspiring woman from the investing and finance sector, or a female founder with a special focus on Asia. To receive a 10% discount on all of our courses, go to sophiawomen.com and use promo code podcast10. And today's guests are my partners in crime, Nicole Denholder and Christine Yu. Welcome.
Hi, Tanya.
Hello.
It's really nice to be on the show, our show.
Your show.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Christine. Hi, everyone.
This is a bit of an unusual show because this is going to be hosted by us and we don't have any external guests on this show. But as per the last episode we put out, we do like to mix things up and change the setting a little bit. So today we're just going to talk through, we're 3 months into the launch of Sophia, which we launched in January 2022. We're now in April. And I thought it would be a great idea for us to just catch up and see where we're going with Sophia, how things have been. So let's kick off with looking at, how the launch went and what's been happening since then. So for you ladies, how did you find our launch? It was crazy, if I remember, all those 3 months ago. How about for you two?
Feels like it's a year ago now, Tanya. It feels like we've lived several lifetimes since that day. I think it's been a really, although it's been, obviously very busy, it's been a really empowering months because we've really hit a nerve with the need for financial education for women in Asia and beyond. I think, we've just had so much positive feedback. And I think the number one thing that we do get all the time is, why hasn't this existed before? Mm-hmm. So I think that's definitely the feedback that I'm getting. I mean, I'd love to hear what you both think.
Yeah, I think it's definitely been that. It's been empowering. It's been fast. It's been busy. I think also to that point around people are asking, why hasn't this been here before? And then they're going, we want more. So we've already got, our course on offer, but there's requests for more different information. Because there's so many things we can be covering in relation to getting ready to investment, understanding your financial situation. So that's been exciting to see that there's all these germs of ideas coming out from so many different people in so many different countries that are across Asia really interested in being kind of part of Sophia, which is great.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that our timing has been epic because, especially where I am in Singapore, talking about gender equality, but also financial literacy. And I think that that's on the tip of a lot of people's tongues. And there's an awful lot of articles that are coming out from all of the major publications around, looking at financial literacy at all ages across the board. So I think that our timing is fantastic. It's interesting. We obviously launched with our angel investing and venture capital startup kind of course and introduction to all of those three things. And, obviously the three of us come from, backgrounds where we've been all of those three things have touched our career paths. And so that made absolute sense for us to launch with that. But I guess since then, we've been busily working on other courses. And I wanted to sort of touch on, what those courses are and where we're heading and what the thinking was behind that. Do you want to kick off, Christine?
Absolutely. I think for us, it's really about building financial education and community for women across their entire money and investing education. So we're building courses around money, investing, thematics, all the way to the alternative space, right? And really, again, just being there across the entire journey. It's that money literacy, it's that investing literacy. And that has been really the goal from day one. And so I think we've been really busy building that product space. And it's really incredible because building an edtech platform like ours is empowering. It's very much, solution oriented, and it's very much future looking. We're really mission aligned. Like we're really trying to build this really wonderful, diverse future, building a pipeline of female investors, starting with, how they manage their money all the way to the angel piece.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah, I was just going to compliment that by saying that what's also come out is that, there's a number of kind of segments. There's different groups of women with different needs. And that's what's been interesting over the past 3 months, is that we certainly had a sense of the type of women we wanted to work with in terms of their investing journey. But it's been great getting to know more and more different needs from different women so that we can be building out, as Christine said, the money, the investing, the thematics, the alternatives, because we're all at different stages in our journey. We're in different financial perspectives, different financial mindsets, how we approach money, our confidence around money. I think that's been helpful in helping us understand, okay, what do women need?
Yeah.
And how can we build it at Sophia?
And just, Nicole, you're absolutely right. And the thing is, we all start from a different money place, right? But it doesn't mean that we can't all get to a point where we are financially empowering ourselves. So I just, I can't, kind of go on and on about that topic more. And I know both of you feel the same.
Yeah, I think I 100% agree. I think that for me, finding this past 3 months has been exactly what you said there, Nicole, is that, at every event I've been to, at every post I put out on LinkedIn, the people that are reaching out to me who are interested in Sophia are different. And, it's not just the 40-year-olds plus with a lot of money in the bank. I've had 22-year-olds. In fact, I had a 14-year-old last week reach out to me. So it's just shown that this hunger and appetite to take control of their money. And I guess that's where our thinking has come from and evolved, and gives us ideas for new courses. And I know, we've been really busy working on your Money Basics 101 and your Money Basics Building Wealth. And I think that those courses, from my experience for the last 3 months, those courses apply to just so many women. And I think that that's going to be, for me, it feels like these are game-changing courses for us.
I absolutely think so. And the reality is, why are we focusing on the basics, right? The reality is you can't be empowered in your financial journey if you don't get the basics down, right? And, good money management at the end of the day really leads to personal well-being. And so that is so important. And, we've really focused on that well-being piece, right? For women, when we've built Your Money Basics course and the Your Money Basics Wealth Building course. I think those are just so fundamental to financial empowerment and financial well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to say, following on from that and thinking to our customers, one of the things that I know we all knew this when we launched Sophia, and unfortunately it's reinforced a lot in all our discussions, is that, women aren't learning about managing money enough or at all, either through their upbringing or through, their social circles or even through their job. There's a real need to get on top of that and understand more. And, maybe we all just don't talk about money enough. We don't talk about tax and insurance and interest rates and, what we're doing with all of this. And this kind of socialization and making it kind of a little bit, you're not second guessing yourself, but it's something that you understand the implications around all of these is really important. And financial literacy the more we can all do around financial literacy to support that is just so critical. And that's why I love how we're going into courses like Money Basics and thinking about wealth building specifically, because this financial literacy is only the first step in really starting to feel empowered and building your confidence.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real, though. It's not the number one thing that, anyone looks forward to doing, right? Like looking through credit card statements, tax, wow, those are really some things that I really look forward to doing. How can we make it, how can we inspire ourselves? And I'm talking about all of us here, right? How can we inspire ourselves to make getting on top of our money basics a real priority?
That's a really good question, because I equate this to wanting to look good. So if I want to look good, I have to go to the gym and pump iron and look good. But do I really? Do I have to do that? There's probably a way that I can be physically active and in the same result, but find something that I enjoy. And I think that with financial education, I think it's about finding something that works for you. And by that, I mean, something that, speaks in a language that resonates with you in a way you understand. It's not patronizing. It's not full of jargon. So for me, that's, one of the biggest gaps I saw, and why we built Sophia, is to plug exactly that gap. But it's also the fact that I think that it's because of going back to the reasons that Nicole mentioned around, being around money, socializing, chit-chatting about money. I think that people think that it's, you need to be a maths genius. You need to have worked, for 20 years at Goldman Sachs to be able to navigate the, financial literacy, financial education. And none of that is true, because I'm terrible at maths,
100%.
actually. So
I like maths.
I'm okay at maths. Don't love it, don't enjoy it. But that's so true, Tanya. I mean, that's the thing, right? You do not have to be a maths whiz to be good at managing your money, right? I think the first step is really to kind of like get rid of these limiting beliefs. I think it's just like, leave that behind, right? And I think for me, again, how do I, mind trick myself into kind of making my money and my money management a priority? I think it's actually to make sure that I'm inspired. And how do I make sure I'm inspired? I think of the goals that I want to achieve. Yep. I think of the life I want to live. And I think keeping those kind of goals really close, I think that's what gives me, that push to say, you know what, I'm going to crack open this Excel spreadsheet.
Well, it comes back to Tanya's points around, well, if you go to the gym, you just don't go to the gym just to go to the gym, right? You're either trying to lose 5 kilograms, or you're trying to do so many kilometers faster in terms of your running, and always the feedback, if you think about, we all know that industry too well, right? But it's around setting smaller goals and being consistent to them.
Yes.
And I think when we talk about financial goals, it is around just setting small ones and working towards them, because over time they all accumulate to maybe a bigger goal. So you can have something big in mind, but actually what's the first thing you need to do, or what's that smaller goal that helps? And I think that makes it more achievable. It doesn't feel overwhelming around that. So that definitely around goals that you feel you can actually get to is so important.
Yeah. The article I just wrote this week actually was around baby steps in it for exactly that. Because if you think about our New Year's resolutions that, I've been setting for the last 25 years, I'm going to save this much money. I'm going to lose this much weight. I'm going to, do all these things, learn French by July. And by mid-January, I've failed because they were just huge, bold, ambitious goals that were probably never realistic. So starting small and taking baby steps is definitely my advice. Yeah, for sure.
I like that tip.
Yeah.
That's why I love the content we're building out with our Money Basics courses, because we're in there giving these different types of tips and ideas that just make things, maybe there's things you can automate, or there's rules of thumbs, or there's specific percentages. And actually, if you know those, you're like, oh, okay, is that what I need to get to? Actually, that's achievable, but if you don't know, it just seems, oh, how am I going to get there? So it's been really great building all of this content, because, wrapping it in a way that's like, okay, I can do this, walking away from that's been really empowering, I think, even for us.
100%. And I think it's about making a money date with yourself, right? And I think making a money date with yourself is doing the Sophia course, because our Money Basics course is bite-sized. It's literally, you can do it when you're between your commute, if you're not working from home. It's something you can do over your lunch break, right? It's just very achievable. And that's actually one of the things I love about this course. It's easy, it's accessible, but yet it really helps keep you on that, that money wagon, right? It keeps you, it's that self-accountability to keep you accountable to empowering yourself.
Yeah. Can I just touch very, very quickly on something before we move on a little bit? But it is that I don't know about you, but through chatting to multiple friends in the last couple of months since we launched Sophia, I realized that I don't want to use the word shame, but there's almost a little bit of an embarrassment on my friends' part that they have gaps in their financial literacy. And that's a bit of a common thread, actually, that I've experienced through talking to women. And some are feeling that they recognize that this is a gap in their knowledge, and and they've just sort of opted out because it's just, okay, well, I'm now just perhaps a little bit too old to start to change. And when I think about shame or embarrassment about that, I don't know about you, but I went through school, through college, and no one ever talked to me about how to manage your budget or how to invest. No one. So if that's happening, what's happening to me is happening to every other woman out there, then it's no wonder. Like, I just feel like, of course, why, how would you know?
I think that I'm having this conversation with so many women, and it's not, women who are just getting started on their money. I mean, it's actually also, women who are, at very kind of advanced stages in their career who say, gosh, I don't know how to manage my money. And it's, there's no shame in that, actually. There's absolutely no shame in that, because again, as you said, Tanya, we don't learn this stuff in school. We're not socialized to talk about money at every opportunity. So, why should it be a source of shame? It's a source of opportunity. It's a source of community as well, right? Being able to say to yourself, okay, I'm not going to have shame. I'm going to tap my friend on her shoulder and we're going to go have a money date over a coffee, right? I mean, it's a real opportunity to kind of redirect the conversation and help each other in this journey.
I like your word opportunity, because I think that's what it really is. Because how do you work your money harder? How do you make it, how do you work it smarter? Because actually you could work less years if you maximize and work your money now. And so there's I think a positive energy that can be really brought to the discussion. It's like, wow, I make this much, but how can I, improve the type of return, or how can I make this work harder? So, you know what, I want to retire earlier because I want to do these fun things. So when you have these money dates, which I think it's great to really be talking about it, it's bringing this positive energy of how this could change my life, improve my life, make things just work harder. I think that's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I think that women can wish for women is that we would all accept that many of us, if not nearly all of us, are in a very similar position, and therefore, adopting and embracing something that hopefully will help you to manage and think about those. If you're thinking about those goals, like you mentioned, Christine, I always think about my vacations. Like, I just want more vacations. Yes, savings and investments, of course. But in terms of like trying to motivate myself, it's like, I want to go on some more vacations, which has been tough the last couple of years. And I, try to attach the goal, as you say, Christine, which is for me is the vacation, with the action. And so one is facilitating the other or allowing the other. The Moneymakers podcast is brought to you by Sophia, the place for women to learn, invest, and change the world. Sophia is an education platform for women, providing much-needed courses on personal finance and investing, with a goal to increase diversity and inclusion in early-stage investing. Go to sophiawomen.com and use promo code podcast10 to receive a 10% discount on all of our courses. So let's talk briefly to sort of wrap this up about Sophia and the future and where we're going, because, it's been 3 months, but what does the next 3 months look like for us?
Very exciting, as always.
Yeah.
We've been so busy building our Money Basics series, right? And that's definitely coming up the pipe very soon. So we're launching your Money Basics on April 25th. And it's an exciting course because it's a 30 minutes-ish course around the basics of your budgeting, saving, managing debt, understanding how to be a mindful spender, and also saving for your emergency fund, which we call our Fierce Fund, because we're fierce, right? We are going to get out there and slay our financial goals. But the best part of Money Basics 1 as well is that we make it easy. It's so easy. Not only is it digestible, bite-sized content, but we have a tool. It comes with a budgeting tool that is so easy and it's not hard to use. So I'm really excited for Money Basics.
How about you, Nicole?
I keep thinking as we say the words fierce and slay, we're flipping the Disney tale on its head. We're the women going out to slay. It's going to be fierce. I love it. And that's why I come back to, I think there's the opportunity here of continually learning, but linked to goals is so important. And our Money Basics series is really full of practical tips. It's short enough to make it achievable to do, but it's jam-packed with information. So you'll certainly come away with lots of learning points.
Yeah. Talking of flipping Disney on its head, I did a International Women's Day event recently in Singapore with 100 women in finance and Saxo Markets Singapore. And one of the ladies on the panel was a financial planner for a wealth manager here. And they said, what's your number one tip? And she said, a man is not a plan. And the whole room just cracked up. And I thought, yeah. She's absolutely right. So
it's 2022. A man is never a plan. Let's face it.
Well, they are still in Disney. I
mean, Disney needs to change.
I know.
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah. Okay, next podcast. Okay, anything else before we wrap up?
Actually, I just also wanted to talk a little bit about Money Basics, the second piece, which is our Money Basics wealth building course, which is coming right after we release Your Money Basics. And I think that it's really for the woman who, she's now gotten on top of her basic money management. She's saving, she's ready to do something with the money that she is saving, right? She's finished kind of saving her Fierce Fund, and she's really getting ready for that next step. And it's really plugging that knowledge gap in between, I need to get on top of my money and I'm ready to invest, right? Because there's so many fundamental things about building wealth that we need to understand. And so that's that course. And I'm really excited for that course too, because that is going to kind of like, it's kind of like, it's the things that, no one tells you need to know about building wealth in kind of one nice, neat course.
Cool. So you do, the idea being is that you do Your Money Basics 101 first, step one.
Yes.
And then straight into Money Basics, building wealth. And then from there, I guess, I'm jumping ahead now for Sophia and going off piece, but jumping ahead from that, we're looking then at starting to mobilize that capital and looking at different investing asset classes, because by then you should be, have all of your foundations and perhaps a bit more confidence as well to start to think about, well, what can I invest in? So that's going to be, the next 6 months or so for us at Sophia is building that out and following women on that journey from foundations through to investing in whatever it is that interests them.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, what's great about this series is that, we've talked a lot about goals, and those courses explore and help, set them and think about them. So that goal setting part really comes out as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
And what I've also enjoyed about filming, because I have been the filmer, is both courses, we've got so many awesome speakers on them, like women that want to come and talk for us. On our first course, we had, quite a few VCs and founders, all female, come and, do cameo parts. And these two courses are the same. And I think that speaks to the level of interest from other, female investors or wealth managers in this case, and their level of interest in the topic. So it's great.
Yeah, we're really bringing together kind of like, wealth managers, financial planners, we even have a clinical psychologist. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Comes back to the importance of the money mindset. Absolutely nailing that.
Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely. Can I ask one last thing, which is, it's been 3 months, as we've said. What's been sort of some or one of your highlights of the last 3 months?
So many to talk about.
Come on, it must be your TV appearance, Christine.
I have to say, I've never been a really long time since I've gone on live, TV, right? Live news TV. I think I went on CNN Philippines on Rico Hizon's show, The Final Word. And I'm not even kidding. I think I was in between a piece on the Ukraine war and the financial markets roundup. And then, in Christine comes talking about Sophia. And, I don't always enjoy, public speaking, I think, but it's important to do it because, we are doing something quite important. And we're all very passionate about, this topic about financial literacy and empowering other women. And that gives me strength. That inspires me to be able to go on kind of on the news to really talk about this. I had so much positive feedback come to me. People, randomly coming to me saying, wow, I need this. How do I sign up? Tell me, please, I want to join the next event. It was just this outpouring of interest. And I think that was definitely a highlight. But if I could just add one more highlight, I actually think, rolling up my sleeves and working with the two of you on building this transformational product and transformational kind of courses, I think for me, that's been really sort of mission aligned for my own values. And it's really kind of inspired me on my own journey.
Oh, you're so right. We've said from day one, we're all coming here with the same mission, right? It's nice to be working together, alignment around that. Some of the highlights would be just the amazing amount of personal messages I've received, which shows, what we're building it's very meaningful for a lot of people, and not just women who are looking for the types of courses we're offering, but people that recognize, well, this is just really important to be doing and how can they get involved? I've just been, overwhelmed by that type of personal messaging. So that's been really, that's very motivating and interesting how many people I've actually reconnected with recently because of their interest in what they're doing. So that's been amazing. I think one of the other highlights is we did a founder female panel a couple of weeks ago, and the panel was fabulous, but actually our pre-chat was actually, I have to say, just as good. We had this kind of very free-flowing chat where we were waiting to get on. Everyone was just introducing themselves. A few topics came up and it was like, wow, I was really blown away with some of the discussion. I think some of those things are really interesting, really getting to connect with people in such a personal way. I mean, that's what you want to do with the business, is really make it real for people.
Yeah, absolutely. Great highlights, ladies. I think for me, got a few. One is probably the amount of great publicity that we've managed to get, Sophia, which I think speaks to the opportunity that we have and the level of interest that's there. So, we've been on a number of high profile podcasts and in all the major press. So, which is fantastic to see articles that I've written in the Business Times and things like that. I'm super happy about that. Definitely one of my highlights. Amazing. And the other highlight I think I have is that I think that there's an element of a lot of women don't understand, a lot of women do not make the connection between the need to take control of their finances and mobilize their capital and the impact that has on women more greatly. So let's say I mobilize some capital of mine, I start investing. Let's say I support some female founders. The impact of that is not only that I mobilized some capital and I started my investment journey, but I've invested into a female founder who, as we all know, female founders receive such little funding for their businesses, who may well be building a business for women. So that's for all of us, for women everywhere. And they hire more women, building more ESG focused businesses. Just this knock-on impact is just huge. That's a movement I want to be part of. So I'm going to wrap up on that note. So thank you very much, ladies. Let's all get together and do another touch-in 3 months' time and see and reflect on our money basic courses and where we're at. So thank you very much. And let's keep up the good work, girls.
And don't forget, what are we doing? We're going to learn, invest
and
change the world.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of the Money Makers podcast, brought to you by Sophia, the education platform for women that increases diversity in early stage investing. Visit sophiawomen.com and use promo code podcast10 to receive a 10% discount on all our courses. Learn, invest, and change the world.